I don't normally do this, but I need to make a video about this game. It is not only one of the best games I've ever played, I think it's unfair to compare other games to it. The amount of depth in this game is ridiculous. The amount of permutations there can be to the character's choices, which is again is one of the other permutations that can change a lot of things. You can create your own character, or you can play as one of the characters that's already in the storyline, but experience their story with all of their already established storylines and attributes and everything like that. Um, I've played this game for close to 70 hours. About 60 of that is my own campaign. And then I started a campaign with my brother, which we've already spent maybe like 10 hours on. I've never played a game for this long and still felt like I'm learning something new literally every time I play it. There's, I don't know if there's ever been a game that I've played personally where essentially if you think you can do it, you can. And that is just a mind-blowing standard to live up to for games going forward. And I don't agree with that. I know there's been a lot of people saying that this should be the new standard, and I don't agree with that either. This game has been in development for almost a decade. It's been over a decade since the last game in the series came out. The mainline games. Um, but yeah, it's been in development for that long. It's been play tested for multiple years by people that bought the early access. It's been fixed. Every Almost every bug that was found during that period was fixed. The game has no microtransactions, no season pass, none of that stuff. And a lot of gamers are saying, "Wow, this is so refreshing. Every game should be like this." And it's just not fair to say that. I'm not defending mediocrity. I don't care for games that have season passes and require you to buy DLC to get the full experience or expect you to keep playing the game for multiple years in order to get all of the content out of it. But there's a major difference between not having the resources to do that and being forced to do that by a publisher. And a lot of publishers expect, and even not even publishers, just gamers in general, expect to play a new game in their favorite series or whatever every year. And then when it's the same thing the next year, they go up in arms about it. Oh, we're just getting the same game again, different skin. And I agree with that to some point. There's some series that definitely do that, and people keep buying the games, so there's not really a chance of it stopping. But there's other games series that that do put a lot of effort into trying to release games sooner and not making people wait years. But inevitably, at the end of the day, it's not possible for most developers to spend the right amount of time making their game how they want it. And they are forced to meet publisher deadlines, which deteriorate deteriorate the quality of the game as well as the experience upon launching. And it's so normal now for people to expect that incomplete games will just get a patch either the day they release or a couple days after that. And I feel for both sides of that argument. The developers, again, probably under publisher deadlines and demands, and the gamers, the fans, don't understand that or don't care. Either one. So there's a very popular Twitter thread about this game which calls it an anomaly. And a lot of people are kind of uprising against that take or that opinion, saying that calling it an anomaly is just expecting everybody to lower their or keep their standards lowered um, for anything that comes out. And I agree with the fact that it's an anomaly because this game has had so much time to be developed and play tested, bug tested, just tested in general, and the developer is answering or has the ability to answer player feedback or bugs or anything like that very fast. And a lot of major developers don't have that opportunity. Um, I'm not trying to defend the current state of gaming, but this game is certainly an anomaly. And if people were to expect this level of quality, this level of polish, this level of depth, this level of just developer player interaction and improvement, uh, every game would take close to a decade to come out. And some people might be okay with that, but the reality is most developers kind of need a paycheck to, to live. and they can't afford to spend that long on making a game. They need to make a game, in 2 or 3 years, and then slowly fix it after it starts bringing in money. And this game isn't like that, and it's a great thing that it's not. But it's it can't be the standard. I have played this game for close to 70 hours, and like I said at the start, it's one of the best games I've ever played. I'm not done with it. I can easily see myself putting hundreds of hours into this game, and there's so much to do, and I've already uh experienced new things playing a co-op campaign with my brother. Entirely new things, not even just dialogue choices, just entirely new experiences. And that is the definition of a role-playing game and Dungeons and Dragons, which obviously it's based on. But we can't expect this level of quality from every RPG. It's okay to have linear experiences. It's okay to have um, characters that are already predefined, like that don't need to be molded by you. And that's one of the best things that this game does is you can literally mold any character into what you want them to be, not only in just like class and skills and choices you make, but you can change their identity, you can change their beliefs, and that's it's such an impossible precedent to set for anybody making an RPG, any video game in general. It might sound like I'm being negative about the game, but I'm not. I love this game, and as I've said, I think it's one of the greatest games I've ever played. And I'm not even sure that I will get to play a game of this caliber in my lifetime. I've been playing games for close to 30 years, if not 30 years, and I've never experienced anything like it. It's not overrated. The praise for it is warranted. If you actually play it, you'll see it. If you don't, then you'll probably still think that it's overrated. But there is a reason that people are saying maybe this should be what all developers should do. Release a game without any micro transactions, without any season pass, without any DLC, without anything uh, being required of the player to get the full experience. And everything is here. When you buy this game, everything is already there. There is no DLC. There is no store, there's no season pass, there's no maybe this is coming later. I honestly wouldn't put it past the developer to release uh, DLC additions to the game for free because they have a mission statement on their website that says they don't believe in releasing games that aren't uh, completely playable and have everything, all of the content that they should have upon release, which is fine for them. And it's great for us, the people that play it. But we can't expect every game to be like this. because if we did, you'd probably play like less than 10 games in your entire life. Game development is a business. The people that are part of development companies need to make money. They need to, you know, have the ability to afford their cost of living, their families, stuff like that, and they cannot afford to spend this much time before releasing a game of this caliber and this quality. So we should celebrate this game for what it is and how much it has. I haven't even experienced all of it myself, but every time I play it, I have a different feeling, which I don't think I've ever had for playing a game this long. You would think after 60 or 70 hours, that you'd be mostly used to what the game has to offer. But no, it continues to surprise me. Um, the voice acting is a large part of that. Um, the characters in this game are just phenomenal. And again, you can't expect every RPG to have characters of this level. The voice actors are their characters. And every single person you come across in the game has voice acting, which again is just not possible. Even you have something like a AAA title like Cyberpunk, where the people that you run into while you're walking down the street, they have maybe one phrase or something they say to you, but they don't have their own dialogue. They don't have their own cutscene when you talk to them like this game does, which is fine because in Cyberpunk, the actual character, like the main characters of that game's storyline, have great dialogue. But I think Baldur's Gate 3 has the best dialogue I've ever experienced, and there's so much depth to it that it's just unreal at times. I find myself a lot of times playing this game, being in a conversation and thinking, I can't believe that character responded to that in that way, which uniquely personifies who they are and not just some type of stereotype or stereotypical good or evil person, but it plays into that character's beliefs, their background, and everything like that. And the voice acting that goes along with it is incredible too. And this game has tons of uh, big names voicing people. Um, and the other thing is you can miss a lot of it. If you play a certain way, you could even just not meet certain characters at all. If you don't talk to people you're walking down the street or just, exploring, if you don't talk to them, you might miss out on entire side quests, and some of them will go for multiple hours. I say all this to say that, again, every game can't be like this, but we should celebrate this game for what it is. And once again, I don't think we're going to get a game of this caliber if it doesn't come from Larian Studios again. But I mean, this game is it's it was in development for over 10 years. maybe not even development for that long, but it's been that long since the last game. So we shouldn't expect anything like this, even from this studio, for a long time. I know they're going to keep working on it. They're going to keep improving it. They already have. They already do. Um, but yeah, this is just something that we should treasure. I don't, but we should not expect every game to be like this, or else we'll be waiting 10 years for every game to come out with this level of polish and depth. And even just in the RPG um, universe, it's second to none. I've played tons of RPGs. I haven't even finished this one, and I can confidently say that it is the best role-playing game I've ever played. Hands down. Not even contest. And that's not a hot take. Uh, a lot of people have that same opinion for a reason. I know people that haven't played this game don't understand it. They think it's like I think I said earlier that a lot of people think it's overrated. Um, it's not, but it is quite frankly a miracle of gaming, and it's not going to happen again for a while. And nobody should expect every game coming out to be this game. I had to say that because I have seen a ton of online activity talking about this, and the anomaly thing isn't mine. Somebody on Twitter posted that, and it got a lot of backlash because it more or less some of it was worded in a way that made it seem like gamers should not expect quality ever, which is not the case. There can still be quality. Obviously, that's happened. Games have come out that are high quality that haven't taken as long as Baldur's Gate 3 to be made, but um, it just shouldn't be the norm. I agree with that. While at the same time, absolutely adoring this game. And after 70 hours, I feel like I haven't scratched the surface with it. There's already co op support, uh, which is also a rare thing to actually have, like couch co op, or to release a game that actually launches with co op that works as well as it does. But also in the future, it's going to have crossplay so that anybody on any console can play with each other. And that's not something unique to this game, but it also doesn't need to have it. But the developers are doing it because they know people want it and they love what they do. And if you haven't played this game, when you do, you can sense that in basically every part of it. You can tell how much the people that worked on it loved it. You can tell how much the voice actors enjoy doing what they're doing, portraying their characters in literally thousands of different ways. I mean, no, the game has over 17,000 uh, variations of the way that it can go or end. Nobody's probably ever going to see that. all of those. But it is one of the most replayable games I've ever experienced. I haven't even finished my first playthrough, but even just playing my uh, side campaign with my brother, I've already seen completely new things that I didn't see before, different uh, conversations, reactions, things like that. That it's not even just like a surface level type of change. It fundamentally changes how the game moves forward with whatever choice you make or whatever choice someone you're playing with makes. Uh, it's just incredible. But we can't expect this out of every game. That's why I wanted to make this video. But in closing, you should absolutely play this game. I don't even have to guess. If you have the slightest interest in role playing games, in fantasy, especially if you like Dungeons and Dragons, even if you don't like Dungeons and Dragons, the game does such a good job of introducing the rule set to new people and making it accessible, which is not something that's unique to this game. I think it was in other Larian games too, but this is the first one I played. Um, but yeah, I think if you like fantasy, if you like role playing, you need to play this game.